Hi, Nicole. Good evening. Oh, sorry. Good afternoon.
Hi, Miss. Hi.
How is everything?
It's okay, Miss.
All right, that's good to know. So we couldn't have classes yesterday because I asked for a request. Because I had some problems with my PC, but now it's working, right? So I forgot to ask to the coordinator how many classes do we have rest, but I'm gonna do it today, and then I'm gonna let you know. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So could you please help me to remember until what part we stopped?
I guess.
I guess it was until passive models.
Yes, passive models.
All right. Did you have any problem with the homework?
I didn't finish the homework yet, Miss.
Okay. Until what part you made?
I don't remember, Miss. Because I started the class that you told me that I have the homework. I started, but I didn't finish. Because I'm having an exam for the university, so I need to finish. But I finished because I have until tomorrow midnight, right?
Yes, I guess. I am not sure. I don't remember. And you know what is the problem with this platform with person that I really can't see the due date, right? But if you have problems with it, I'm just going to assign you the quiz that is the most important. Okay.
Okay, Miss.
All right, that's cool. So we're gonna start. We have 3 lessons more. This is an expansion, okay? This is not a lesson at all. It's an expansion about something that we've already seen. Okay, so there is nothing new at all. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Once you can see it, please let me. But give me a second because I don't know why my computer configured in Spanish. Okay, yes, I guess now it's okay. So can you see it?
Yes, Miss.
All right, that's cool. So today's lesson is about adjective, clauses, review, and expansion, okay? I don't know how to make some, my goodness, but I hope you can see it in some way that it's good for you, because I uploaded my PC and then I have problems. I had some problems with it. Okay, so today's lesson it's about adjective clauses. As you remember, we've seen this before, right? So let's listen the audio and let's start to pay attention to these 3 examples we have. This is a time when you can look back and feel good. Look at that the phrases are underlined and try to take notes of it because we're gonna look for some exercises there. So let's listen the audio.
Hi, it's Emily. It's also a good time to review. The grammar point that we're going to review today is adjective clauses. Did you recognize the adjective clauses that I just used?
Okay, this is a time when you can look back and feel good. The grammar point that we're going to review today is, did you recognize the adjective clauses that I just used? Okay, so there you have some examples of what is an adjective clause. So let's do it. As I told you, well, I don't know if you remember, and I'm gonna mention this only in order to clarify. As we already learned how to do this is a review, right? So I'm gonna try to go a little bit more fast, not at all, right, but a little, because we already see. We're gonna clarify some questions that we could have, and we're gonna remember what is the name of each sentence, okay? So then you're gonna be available to complete it, and we're gonna see if you get it in the exercises at the end of the page. So let's listen the audio. What is an adjective clause? What is the name of it, of each part of the sentence? So let's see.
Adjective clauses, also called relative clauses, often begin with a relative pronoun. The relative pronoun can be the subject or object of the adjective clause. Is Talia Santos the reporter who broke the story? In this example, the relative pronoun who is the subject of the adjective clause.
Yes, she's the one that I work with.
In this example, the relative pronoun that is the object of the adjective clause.
All right. In other words, what is the purpose of the adjective clause? An adjective clause modifies a noun or a pronoun, okay? The adjective clause is introduced by a signal word. The adjective clause signals words are like, for example, we're gonna look for it in these examples. We're gonna find who and that, okay? So in this sentence we have, well, in this question, is Talia Santos the reporter who wrote the story? As you can see, the first thing that we have to do is to find the subject, okay? In this case, we're talking about the reporter, right? This is our subject. But then we have, or maybe we need to give more information about the subject. So this is the information that we need. Everything, okay, is under or is working about the subject, okay? So the principal thing that it's important for me is to find the subject. Once I can find the subject, or once I find the subject, then I'm gonna complete giving more information about the subject. Again, everything in this sentence is about the subject, because from there, we're gonna give more information, important information, okay? So in this example, the relative pronoun who is the subject, okay, of the adjective clause. She's the one that I work with, okay? So as you can see, everything is about the subject, right? The reporter who, she's the one that, okay? So this is the important information for us. Then what else? Adjective clauses. Okay, the other name, okay, don't get confused, because it's the same. You can call adjective clause or relative clause. Both are okay. Often begin with the relative pronoun. The relative pronoun can be the subject or object. When we say object, when we say the object of a sentence, it means the important, it could be person or the important part of the sentence, okay? That's the object of the sentence. So that will be everything until this part. As you can see, once we found the subject, right? The reporter who, she's the one that I work with, okay? Once we find it, we have to give, or maybe we're gonna continue giving more information about the subject. Everything is about the subject, okay? Is there any question maybe?
No, miss.
Okay, that's cool. So let's continue.
We can use the relative pronouns who or that for a person.
Talia is the person who did the most to help me.
Or
Talia is the person that did the most to help me.
we sometimes use whom for a person when the relative pronoun is the object of the clause. Whom is very formal.
This year, the Most Valuable Player Award goes to an athlete whom we all admire.
Okay, in this sentence, what do you think could be the best relative pronoun?
The
In this
girl.
case, okay, but what relative pronoun would you choose in these 3 points?
Who?
Okay, who? Right? Could you identify the names of this sentence? I mean, this is the subject, okay? Then this is the relative pronoun, and we're gonna find more information. I mean, the adjective plus, okay? The adjective plus contains more information about your subject. That's all, okay?
One is a verb.
I'm sorry.
I didn't understand this. What's the
Okay,
what do
I'm
I
gonna
have to
repeat.
do?
No, you don't have to do anything. I was explaining, right? I was telling you that when you're gonna identify the names of the sentence, because it's important. I know it's more like, I don't know how to say it, like a grammar, right? And I know it seems like it's not maybe important at all, but when you're gonna write, okay, when you're gonna do your writings, to say maybe it's important because you need to order your sentences, you need to order your paragraphs, right? So at that moment, you're gonna see that how important is this lesson, right? So the girl who won the first prize is my niece, okay? So the first thing that you're gonna do is identify the subject, right? The relative pronoun, and then the adjective clause that contains more information about what? About the subject, okay? Everything is about the subject. So, and when are we gonna use, or what is the purpose of the adjective clause? To provide more information about something, about someone, right? Because it's going to be incomplete if I'm gonna say the girl who, okay, that's all, the girl who. I need to give more information. So if I want to give more information, then I'm gonna follow a specific order, right? So in this time, we're gonna look for the order. I have my subject that I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna choose a relative pronoun, and then I'm gonna complete it with my complement. I mean, with more information, with the information that I want to give or I want to express. And that will be everything about point number 2. Let's continue with number 3.
We can use the relative pronouns that or which for a thing. I turned down the job offer that I got at Newsbeat. Or, I turned down the job offer which I got at Newsbeat. That is more common than which in informal conversation.
Okay, we have the relative pronoun. Sorry, give me a second. I want to check something. Oh, yes, okay. The purpose of the relative pronoun, right, is to show your subject for sure. Okay, as you can see, the job offered that, right? But it also works as a connector of what? Of 2 sentences. So this relative pronoun is working as a connector. It is connecting the first sentence with the second one. That's the purpose of it, right? So we're gonna use relative pronoun that in which when we're gonna talk about things, okay? Job offer is a thing. So we're gonna decide for using which or that. That is more informal and is the most common because we actually, when we speak English, we do it in an informal way, right? Unless you're gonna talk to your boss and someone else, right? Someone maybe that, yes, we're gonna take it like that. You're gonna talk to your boss, to your teacher, to your professor, right? So most of the time, we actually talk in an informal way, even in Spanish, in English, in Chinese, in whatever language you're gonna talk, we do it in an informal way. So that's the reason of why that is the most common. So when do you have to use that? When do you have to use who, or when that, or when which? It depends on your context, okay? Or it depends in what way you want to sound, okay? So I turned down the job offer. Do you know the meaning of turn down?
Like quit.
Yes, that's the meaning of it, right? Turn down. It's a phrasal verb. I turned down the job offer. Okay, that's the first part. Okay, so if I'm not going to use the adjective clause that is this part, it is going to sound very incomplete. I turned down the job offer. What job offer, or what are you talking about? Okay, so that's the reason why we have adjective clauses. Now, as you're talking about that job offer, then you're gonna think and you're gonna ask yourself, okay, is this a person? No. Is this a place? No, but it's a thing. So I have two options, that or which. So as I want to sound a little bit more informal, I'm gonna use that. Oh, but if I want to sound more formal, I'm gonna use which. And that's the ways that you are gonna recognize which one you're gonna use. You only have to focus on this part, okay? On your subject, okay? Then you're gonna decide which relative pronoun is going to be the best one. As you've seen, right now I just used an adjective clause, right? I decided for which, okay, because for me it's a formal conversation, right? But I can also use that. In that way, you're gonna decide which one you're gonna use. That is more common than which in informal conversation. Okay, let's take a view. The difference between whom, okay, whom and who. We sometimes use whom for a person when the relative pronoun is the object of the clause. Whom is very formal, okay? I'm gonna explain this part in Spanish, right? La diferencia entre whom y who, ambos son formales, por supuesto, pero cuando yo digo whom, hago referencia a quién. This year, the most valuable player award goes to an athlete whom we all admire, right? Si voy a tratar de tal vez utilizar otro contexto, si voy a decir quién, al atleta, tal vez, I'm going to try not to translate, but in other words, whom is when the object, when the relative pronoun is the object. In this case, it's athlete. Okay, player award goes to an athlete whom we all admire. Okay, this is something that I don't do, but just in this case, I'm gonna do it. I always do it with especially with who and whom. The difference, more than the formality, is the meaning. Okay, when we have the relative pronoun, in this case, athlete is the object, okay? So that's the reason of why we're using whom, because of the object, okay? Do you get it?
But I got confused when you started explaining the difference between whom.
Oh, I'm sorry?
That I got confused when you started explaining the difference between whom and who.
Okay, I'm gonna explain you right now, okay? We're gonna do it fastly. Okay, so something that we have to know is what is a subject. I want to use a text or not. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're gonna write who, okay? Who and whom, right? All right. So we're gonna use who for subjects. Okay. For subjects. For example, okay, the person, for example, who is used to talk about objects, right? Objects. Okay, when we're gonna talk about who, well, we're gonna use this relative pronoun when providing extra information about the subject, okay, in the sentence, or when you're asking about the subject. For example, if I'm going to say, oh no, Ollie is my friend. Oh my God, Ollie is my friend. Okay, Ollie is my friend. Who is a teacher? Another sentence. Who ran the doorbell? Okay. As you can see, we're using who for subjects, okay? My friend is my subject. Ollie is my friend who is a teacher. Who rang the doorbell? Now, let's take a view, maybe with the examples, we're gonna recognize it. With whom, as I told you, we're gonna use this when providing extra information about the object in the sentence, okay? Or when you're asking about the object. For example, okay, Ali is the man whom I told you about. Okay, to whom did you give the notebook? Okay, to whom did you give the notebook? Right? Okay. All right. So let's take a view. Give me a second, please. All right. So let's start with who. When we say subjects, and this is the important part, so please pay attention. When we talk about subjects, it refers to he, she, or they, right? Then when we're gonna talk about objects, it means him, her, or them. Okay, we have more objects for sure, right? We actually have eight subjects, eight objects. Okay, so that's the difference. When we say my friend, it's a subject. How do I know? Because I can reply, or I'm sorry, not reply. I can instead of using my friend, I can say he. Ali is my friend, right? So I can replace it by he. So as it is the subject, we're gonna use who. And when I'm going to find the object, words like him, her, them, right? We're going to use the relative pronoun form. Okay. So, for example, if I'm going to say, I don't know, I don't have another example of what can we say? Whom will he blame for the accident, for example, right? Or who is this? When I say who is this, I'm using subject. Who is this? Who will come early tomorrow? Who no, the children who came late, okay? Right. But when I'm gonna use whom, right? It's an object pronoun like him, her, us, etc. Right? And another thing that is going to help you to identify when do you have to use whom to ask which person receives the action. Who is receiving the action? The man. Only is the man whom I told you about. But when we use who, it talks about the subject. For example, he, she, we, I, you, right? That's the difference. We use who to ask which person does an action, right? Or maybe which person is a certain way. So that's the difference between who and whom. Do you have any question maybe? Is it clear or not really?
I think miss that now I understood.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna explain you this last part in Spanish, right? Because there is a certain difference between who and whom in Spanish. Cuando usamos who, es el pronombre relativo, tal cual, ¿ok? Que se utiliza en oraciones
Hola, don
tal
Pedro.
cual, en adjective clauses, right? Sorry? Is there any question? Nicole? Okay. So, for example, the man who showed us the right way was very kind, okay? In Spanish would be something like el hombre quien o que nos mostró el camino correcto fue muy amable. Y cuando utilizamos whom, también es un pronombre, es un relative pronoun, pero la única diferencia es que recae sobre el objeto, ¿ok? O sea, la acción recae sobre tu objeto. ¿Cómo identificar los objetos? Him, her, them, right? For example, that is the man to whom I have spoken recently, right? Ese es el hombre con quien he hablado recientemente. Hay quienes dicen que podría ser como el who interpretado como quién y whom como a quién, ¿ok? O quién con quién. Entonces puede variar dependiendo del contexto, pero hay una diferencia abismal cuando yo digo el hombre quién y el hombre a quién, ¿ok? Esa es la diferencia. El hombre que encontramos el día de ayer, el hombre que encontramos el día de ayer, es decir, estoy hablando del hombre, pero si yo digo el hombre a quien encontramos, ya estoy haciendo referencia al verbo, ¿ok? Hay una gran diferencia entre decir el hombre a quien encontramos el día de ayer o el hombre que encontramos el día de ayer, right? Cambia el contexto. Esa es la diferencia. Sucede casi de la misma manera en inglés y en español. ¿A quién y qué es la diferencia? ¿Ok? Who es qué. El hombre que encontramos. Whom podría ser tal vez una traducción próxima a quién o con quién. El hombre a quien encontramos muerto el día de ayer era familiar de Mariela. El hombre que encontramos el día de ayer, ¿ok? Entonces esa podría ser tal vez la diferencia entre who y whom, right? Now is it clear? Maybe.
Yes, miss.
Okay, that's cool. So we're gonna continue with the next point. Then the rest of the relative clauses, right, are more easy because we actually use where to describe a place. When is for a time, when we want to describe a time. So could you please read the question?
Okay. Is there some place where we can go for a few minutes?
Okay. Could you identify the adjective clause?
Where?
Okay, this is the adjective clause, okay? Don't forget, the adjective clause give us more information, okay? Then this is the relative clause, okay? Why are we using where? Could you identify it?
Because of because the subject is someplace.
Very good, right? The adjective clause where we can go for a few minutes is right someplace, and that's all, right? Is there some place where we can go for a few minutes? All right. How about when? Could you please read point number 5?
We use when or that in adjective clauses that describe a term.
Okay, the examples, please.
It seems like it was just yesterday when you asked me to turn up the volume.
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 Okay.
Okay.
The next one.
Yeah. It seems like it was just yesterday that you asked me to turn up the volume.
Okay, you're gonna read as it is until the O. Okay. Vol from this Chilean volume. Okay. Could you repeat it, please?
Volume.
Yes, that's the correct pronunciation, right? It seems like it was yesterday that you asked me to turn up the volume. That's all, volume. Okay, in this sentence, could you identify why are we using when?
Excuse me, miss?
Could you
What?
let me know, maybe can you identify why are we using when? It refers to?
Because it's using the word yesterday, that is time.
Yes.
That means time.
Okay, cool. So it seems like it was just yesterday. So we have yesterday. As we have yesterday and it is a time, we need to use the relative pronoun when. Now, how is the name of the rest of the sentence? What is the name of this?
Adjective clause.
Very good. That's all. The adjective clause give us more information about your subject. What is your subject? Yesterday. So again, you have two ways. When formal, that informal, both are the same. That is more common, okay? Yes, that's all. Any question maybe?
No, miss.
Cool, let's continue. All right, now we're gonna finish with point number 6.
In adjective clauses, we often leave out the object relative pronoun. We also leave out when or that in adjective clauses that describe a time. This is very common in informal conversation and writing.
There's something I need to discuss with you.
It's hard to find a time we can talk.
We can't leave out where. That's the juice bar where Nick Crawford likes to go.
Okay, now this is going to sound funny, right? But we often leave out the object relative pronoun, right? There is something I need to discuss with you. There is something that I need to discuss with you. It's hard to find a time where we can talk, okay? There is something which I need to discuss with you, okay? As you can see, I leave out the object, the relative pronoun, sorry. Why? Because it's common in English, right? I know it sounds weird, right? But it's more common to leave out the object relative pronoun. Why? Because in English, you're gonna notice, I don't know, maybe if you're gonna watch any series on Netflix, or I don't know which platform, whatever platform it could be, in English, it's very common to leave out many words, right? So don't surprise if maybe you're gonna talk to, I don't know, or maybe you're gonna watch some series and then you're gonna notice that there are many missed words. Why is it? Because they look for, I don't know if they want to talk less, right? They feel comfortable without saying too much words. I don't know why, right? But yes, that's the truth, right? So it's up to you which one you prefer. If you prefer to use the relative pronoun or not, both words are okay. I could say that if we're gonna use them, it's very common to use it in formal conversations, and we can leave out the relative pronoun when we talk to our friends, when it's an informal conversation, right? So yes, something that it's important. Okay, the only relative pronoun that I can't leave out is where. Okay, does the juice bar Nick Crawford like to go? That's incorrect. Okay, why? Because the relative pronoun where I can't leave out. So take care in that part. The rest of the relative pronouns, yes, you can leave them out, and it's okay. There is no problem on it. But take care with the relative pronoun where. Okay?
Okay, Miss.
Okay. So that will be everything about the lesson. Is there any question maybe?
No, Miss.
Okay. Do you have any, do you have your notes near from you?
Excuse me?
Do you have your notebooks?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna dictate you some words, well, some sentences, okay? So you're gonna write, okay? What I'm gonna do is, well, you are gonna write what I'm gonna say on your notebook, and then you're gonna combine, right, the pairs of sentences, okay? And you're gonna combine two sentences in only one, okay? Do you get it?
Okay, Miss. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so here I go. The structure can be seen for miles.
Can you
It
repeat,
is,
Miss?
okay, the structure can be seen for miles. It is period. It is sent on a mountain.
For miles.
Period.
Okay.
It stands on a mountain.
It is what?
It stands.
Ah. It
Stands on a mountain. Okay, so you have to, this is one exercise, okay? What you're gonna do right now is to combine these two sentences in one, using the correct relative pronoun. Okay?
Okay, Miss.
Okay, so please do it. When it's done, let me know the answer, right? You're gonna write it into the chat. I want to see how is your writing.
I finished.
Okay, could you please read it?
Okay, the structure which stands on a mountain can be seen for miles.
Okay, that's cool. The structure, okay, you will need the subject, it, okay? So why? Because we already have the structure, so it could sound redundant if we're gonna repeat it, okay? The structure which stands on a mountain can be seen for miles. Or another option could be the structure can be seen for, no, the structure which can be seen for miles stands on a mountain, okay? That's the other option. So here we go with the next exercise. So take notes. No. This is the building. I go to school. Okay, this is a building, period. The next one, I go to school. This is a building, period. I go to school. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay, so change it, please, into a notative clause. Okay, this is the building where I go to school. This is a building where I go to school. I go to- Yes, it's okay, right? My question for you is, can you leave out the relative pronoun where? Or what do you think?
Excuse, can you repeat, Miss? I didn't
Yes,
understand.
for sure. My question for you is, can you leave out the relative pronoun where or not?
Read out, like change it.
No, leave out. Leave out.
Leave
Can you
out.
omit it?
Um,
Leave out could be like I'm gonna leave out your name from the list because you are not available to have classes today, for example.
You
I'm gonna,
can omit it, I think. It means the same, but I'm not sure.
okay, the answer is no, right? The only relative pronoun that I can leave out, como dejarlo, es decir, omitirlo, es were, okay? Es el único que no se puede. En cuanto a los demás, when, yes, when, which, okay, who, whom, yes, you can do it, right? So if I'm going to say, this is the building I go to school, right? It sounds incorrect. Okay, so the only relative pronoun that you can leave out is the relative pronoun were. Okay, do you get it?
Yes, means.
Okay, so okay, here I go with the last exercise. Okay, so take notes. Okay, Aunt Judy is my father's sister. Aunt Judy is my father's sister. Period. Okay. She visits us in June. She visits us in June. Again, Aunt Judy is my father's sister. Period. She visits us in June. Do you get it?
I don't know where is the second sentence. Means I didn't hear.
Okay, here I go again. Aunt Judy. Judy is the name, right? Aunt Judy is my father's sister. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay, period. She visits us in June. She visits us in June. You get it?
Yes.
Okay, so please combine these two sentences in one. Okay. Aunt Judy. Okay, Aunt Judy. Is my sister. Okay. Yes, it's great, right? The other one could be who though, right? There is no problem on it because it's going to sound similar. Okay. Here the difference is the formality, then everything is okay. Okay. Is there any question maybe?
No, miss.
Okay, so that will be everything for today, right? As you've seen, this is not difficult. This is a review. The two more lessons that we have for work for tomorrow, right, are also a review, right? So there is not going to, we're not gonna have something new because it's a review, okay? But we have to check anyway. I'm gonna bring you for tomorrow because I guess tomorrow it's phrasal verbs. I'm gonna bring you some exercises in context, right? It's a little bit fun to understand these phrasal verbs, but my opinion, I guess sometimes it gets difficult, right? So as you don't have any question, we're gonna stop until this part, okay? So okay, I'm gonna launch the two polls that we have. This is the first one, the daily poll. When it's done, let me know. I'm gonna launch another one.
I finished, miss.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna launch the second. Oh no. No, we're only gonna have only one, right? I forgot. So yes, that will be everything for today, Nicole. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, miss, bye.
Bye-bye.